Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the University of Dundee Master of Education webinar. My name is Helen Spiropoulos, and I'm the Admissions Manager at Stafford Associates. And joining me this evening all the way from the University of Dundee is Marie. Good evening to you, Marie.
Good evening, everybody. It's good to be here tonight.
Thank you for joining us. And I'm just looking here on my right-hand side, and I can see there's quite a lot of you that have joined us this evening. Nice to have you with us. How we are going to actually conduct this webinar this evening is I'm just briefly going to introduce you to Stafford, who we are, what we do in the Middle East, and I'm then going to hand you over to Marie, who's going to talk about the program. Now, towards the end of the webinar, you will have the chance to type up your questions, and what I'm going to do is group the questions together because most of them are similar, if not identical, so that Marie and myself can actually go through the questions quite quickly for you. Okay, so let's get started. Who is Stafford Associates? Well, Stafford Associates was established in 1993, and we are a resource centre for distance learning education in the Middle East. And we are currently the resource centre for 5 UK universities, one of which is the University of Dundee. And we do offer a variety of programs, ranging from certificates to diplomas, bachelor's, MBAs, MEds, right through until doctorate. So we really do have programs for everyone's needs. And our function here in the Middle East is to assist with the registration process and get that very important unconditional offer for you. And we do also assist with academic and administrative issues as well. So I'm going to now hand you over to Marie, and I will join you again towards the end of the webinar. Over to you, Marie.
Thank you very much, Helen. Okay, welcome to the University of Dundee, everybody, and the Master of Education Programme. As Helen says, my name is Marie Beresford-Dey. I'm a lecturer on the programme, and also I'm the lead for any students undertaking the MEd via Stafford Associates. So welcome. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about who Dundee is and what it means to be a Dundee University student, and then we'll take you through the programme. Okay, so who are we at the University of Dundee? We make a difference here and now in the real world, and making that impact today. We do this by working across subject boundaries, adopting an interdisciplinary and team-based approach in both teaching and our research, and this enables staff and students to approach issues in an innovative and challenging, productive ways. We offer an enterprising approach which is embedded in the curriculum that we offer for our students, and we aim to transform lives through knowledge creation along with sharing and application of that information. Okay, why Dundee? Well, we have a global reputation, and as you can see there from the listings, we are frequently placed highly in the university rankings, and we're very proud of this. We have a substantial global reputation with students accessing our courses from over 150 countries around the world. And in addition, no matter where in the world you're studying from, we like to promote a real sense of community, and we feel this is what sets us apart. So at Dundee, we can offer you a learning experience with one of the world's top 200 universities. And during the course of your studies, we will offer you excellent teaching, learning, support and resources. So moving on to the MEd and what that entails. The MEd is a professional development programme, and it's undertaken at level 11 on the Scottish qualification framework, so it is at master's level. Please do note that although the MEd is recognised by the General Teaching Council in Scotland, the GTCS, It's not a teaching qualification. And as different national governments have different prerequisites for teaching, you are advised to check with the relevant government or registering body. An overview of the programme then. We are a part-time or a fast-track study. We offer that to you, which enables you some flexibility and autonomy within your learning. It is a blended learning programme, which means that primarily we offer a lot of our resources as distance learning, but there are opportunities for those face-to-face sessions either via electronic means similar to the webinars you're accessing tonight and face-to-face workshops. So we treat all students equally. So even though you'll be studying at a distance, you still have access to all the student support. It is an internationally recognised postgraduate qualification, and it's also recognised by the International Baccalaureate. And education is at its foci, that's from early years through to higher education. So why carry out a Master of Education programme? Well, it enables you to become critical within your practice, enables you to start to question what you do and why you do, and whether there are alternative ways where not only your practice can be enhanced, but your colleagues too. It's about you developing your knowledge around the global educational developments, and again sharing those, using them and sharing them, and as I mentioned earlier. It is a programme which enables you to gain an opportunity to improve your career progression prospects, and helps to develop and extend your confidence and enhance those professional career opportunities. And as tutors, we are continuously seeing our students being influenced by their learning at master's level, and this inevitably benefits students and the staff who you are working with. So quite a number of benefits to studying at this level. As a student on the MEd, what you can expect from us is quite a significant amount of support. Initially, that will be via email and, as I mentioned, the online tutorials with your module tutor, local face-to-face workshops, and I'll come back to those shortly, online learning and teaching resources, plus signposting to additional resources, opportunity for formative assessment. This will help with your learning, and it will also provide you with an opportunity to obtain extensive feedback in preparation for your final assignment. And support will be offered via our Academic Skills Centre if you require support with academic writing. We have a number of named awards, and to obtain a Master in Education, you will need to obtain 180 credits of study in any of the above named awards. The award of Leading Learning and Teaching, highlighted there at the top in bold, is our generic award which provides subject flexibility. However, if you require a subject specialism, you can see that we have a number of opportunities or options from educational leadership to childhood studies. So again, there's flexibility within those as well, but to obtain the maximum flexibility, then Leading Learning and Teaching is a key named award. However, within each of those, there are links to different modules, and I'll talk about those shortly as well. But we do have a number of optional modules available to you. Each of the optional modules enables you to carry out the study and assignment without being in the workplace environment, as long as you have relevant teaching experience that you can draw from and reflect upon. Each module or optional module is considered as a single credit module and it is worth 30 credits. In addition, we also have 3 core modules reflecting upon practice and research methods and dissertation. Now, the reflecting upon practice and research methods are also single credit 30 credit modules. However, the dissertation is a double credit module and that is worth 60 credits. So here what we can see is how the named awards and the optional modules link, and also what that means for the dissertation. So for example, if you wish to obtain a named award in MEd's Educational Leadership, what you can see there is you must undertake leadership change and organisational development as one of your options, plus an additional optional module in any of the subject areas. But then your dissertation also needs to be linked to that named award. So in this instance, you would have to focus your dissertation also on educational leadership. And as I said, the Leading Learning Teaching named award, that enables you to undertake any 2 optional modules because it has that flexibility, and your dissertation can be within any relevant educational topic. A typical route through the MEd is shown there on the screen, where you will start off with reflecting upon practice, the core module, followed by 2 optional modules, and then the final 2 core modules. And although this is clearly laid out here, there are a number of options within each of these routes. For example, the exit points that you can see there with the PG certificate level and the PG diploma level. If you decide to exit at PG certificate or PG diploma level, you can decide to return and complete the full Masters of Education at a later date, as long as that is within 5 years of receiving your original award. Also, there will be differences if you obtain what we call recognition of prior learning, RPL. So any credits that you've received at master's level could mean that you are eligible for credit exemption, and that will also have an impact on that route through. Additionally, we also have the opportunity to study towards eligibility for an International Baccalaureate or an IB certificate. For these awards, once you commence your studies at Dundee, you will need to register directly with the IB, and we will provide you guidance for this process. What you can see there is that there are 3 different awards available to you. The first of those is the Certificate in Leadership Practice. Now, you don't need any prerequisite here for IB experience, teaching experience. These prerequisites are provided by the IB, and they stipulate what requirements you need. For the Advanced Certificate in Leadership Research, you can see that there's 2 pathways for this award. The first of them means that you would work towards that Leadership Practice Award and then advance onto the Advanced Certificate. However, if you have 3 years teaching experience within an IB school, then you could undertake a different type of pathway where you don't need to undertake the leadership practice route first. And then finally, we have the Advanced Certificates in Learning and Teaching Research. For this award, you must have 3 years teaching experience in an IB school, and there's no alternative there. We do have a dedicated member of staff who will provide you with IB support if you wish to take any of these routes. There are no additional assignments for each of the IB awards, but you will be expected to underpin your writing with IB publications. And again, we do provide you with support for this, and we do signpost some of those publications which you may wish to access. So just taking you through briefly here, and again, there are some changes depending on the experience and your prior learning to be made, but typical routes through. So for the teaching and learning research, it is the same route through as you would if you was undertaking the MEd. For the leadership practice, there are slight changes in the order of the subject areas. So you start off with leadership change and organisational development before moving on to reflecting on leadership in the IB. Then you have your core modules followed by your final dissertation. Okay, for your study duration for all of this, again we have options here for you. The first of these is the part-time option, where you study 30 credits across one semester, which is 20 weeks. When you get to the final dissertation, if you undertake the full MEd, you will be given 46 weeks to complete the dissertation. For each of these, the notional study time is approximately 15 hours per week. The fast track, in essence, is doubling up the amount of study that you carry out. So that's 2 30 credit modules rather than 1 30 credit module within that 20 weeks. And the dissertation is taken over a 23-week period. So the part-time route takes, on average, if you're going down the typical route and you don't have credit exemption, 3 years to complete, whereas the fast track can be completed within 20 months. Again, there's difference there, as mentioned, between the notional study time with 15 hours for the part-time and 30 hours for the fast track route. The fast track option is a significant undertaking, and I do strongly advise you to consider whether you have the space to complete that 30 hours of study. However, if you do decide to go to study by the fast track option but find that it's a little overwhelming, there are certain times throughout the study where we can transfer you to the part-time route and vice versa. If you start off on the part-time route and perhaps you have changes to your circumstances that means that you could undertake more study, there are certain points throughout the programme where we can transfer you onto the fast track pathway. I briefly mentioned earlier about the optional workshops. These are not mandatory, but they are highly recommended. The next workshop, if you do start on the programme with us in November, is Friday the 2nd and Saturday the 3rd of November. They are offered again locally in the UAE within Dubai, and they are offered at the start of the induction. So at the very beginning of your study, but also again to induct you into the research module, so research methods and dissertation. The induction workshop will provide you with an opportunity to gain an understanding of the various mechanisms that's required, for example, within the university's online platform and the virtual library, and how to access those support mechanisms that I've mentioned. They are also a really good way for you to start networking, start to build that sense of community that I mentioned earlier, to meet the tutors and also to network amongst your study colleagues, your learning colleagues. We do find the feedback from our students that it does provide you with a greater sense of confidence through undertaking these workshops, for getting that understanding of what is required for master's level learning. Feedback is always excellent, and there are a few comments from student feedback at the bottom there. Wonderful sessions. These workshops help me to achieve confidence in writing and learning new concepts, and the interactive nature around the activities is always welcomed by our students. The entry requirements, we have 2 routes through, so whether you are workplace based or non-workplace based, both of these routes must have an undergraduate degree, and that can be within any discipline area. And if your undergraduate degree was not taught in English, then we do need an English requirement of IELTS 6.5 or its equivalent, or if English is not your first language. The difference between the two routes is that workplace-based routes, you are currently working in a relevant setting. And even if this changes throughout the course of the study, you can transfer to the non-workplace based route. If you start off with the non-workplace based route, then you must have previous experience in a relevant setting. This doesn't have to be current experience, but you must have enough experience for you to be able to draw on and reflect upon. So some feedback for the programme in its entirety from our students shows that the enhancement of professionalism and the enhancement to their own practice, also the excellent level of support and the dedication that's offered by the tutor team here at Dundee. Okay, you can see the variation in the tuition fees here, and they all exclude VAT, and these can be paid on a flexible monthly instalments to Stafford Associates. I'm sure Helen will be able to answer your queries on this. On that note, I'd just like to thank you for listening and invite Helen back to answer some of these questions. So ask the questions and I will answer them.
Excellent. Okay, thank you so much, Marie. That was wonderful. And you can now please start typing up your questions, and I can actually see some questions that have come through. Okay, and we've got a question from Alicia. Is this qualification acknowledged in South Africa?
As a master's degree, it's acknowledged globally. Wherever you are in the world, everybody will recognise a Master of Education degree.
Okay, and Shaza's question is, the PGCE is not a qualification for teaching in the UK. And what do you suggest that I need to do back in the UK in order to top it up and get a valid teaching qualification?
Depends where you are in the UK. As much as I've mentioned, internationally it depends where you are and what the requirements are. That's the same for the UK as well, because we have different education systems within Scotland, so it's different to England. So it depends where you need to go, but you would ideally need to undertake either a PG cert that has the teaching practice included in there, or if it's Scotland, the PG diploma, and again there will be a teaching practice element within that.
Okay, and Faraz's question is, I have 2 years bachelor's degree. I've completed it, and I have 2.5 years of working experience. Do you think I will be eligible for this program?
Yes, in a short but sweet answer, definitely. If you have an undergraduate degree and you have the relevant experience, then you are certainly eligible.
Okay. Okay, and Nosheen, again, you know, teaching qualifications, do get in touch with your personal consultant at Stafford and be able to give you more information on that. And Shereel, yes, as Marie said, if you are a teacher, you do have some teaching experience and you do have a bachelor degree, do send your application through so we can send it through to the university. Noreen's question is, do I get any hard copies of the study material, and do I have to pay extra for them?
The study materials are all available as downloadable copies, so you can download them, print them off, or download them and use them on a mobile device, for example. It really is up to you. We do offer a reading list as well, and the majority of the text on the reading list are available online. It may be with some modules, there may be 1 or 2 texts that you are recommended to buy, but that is a recommendation, and there will always be alternatives there for you. So there's not an expectation that you will be having to buy additional materials.
Okay, and Angelica's question is, if I apply for the MEd normal route, can I then change later to a fast track route?
Yes, indeed. If you feel that you're coping well and that your time management skills are really good, being able to fit the study in with perhaps a job, family, and so on, then yes, there are times, and it's usually before the next semester starts, that we can transfer you onto that fast track program. And again, if you are on the fast track but feel that you need to slow things down a little because of changes in circumstances, then we can do that. And again, it's between those semesters that we're able to do that.
I have several years of IB teaching experience, and do you suggest that taking the IB route would be the best choice for me?
Yes, I would always say if you can enhance your qualification further, then why not? We're not, like I say, we're not asking you to do any extra work here. And if you have the experience, then we can tailor your route through the MEd pathway to match that experience or lack of experience for those of you who might not have IB teaching experience.
Okay, and Cheryl, regarding the fee structures and any possible scholarships, do get in touch with your academic consultant at Stafford and be able to give you some advice on that. Okay, and Rachel's question is about credits. She's got a graduate degree in education, 7 years of working experience, of which 4 years is as a deputy phase head, and she's asking if that actually will allow her any credits.
Okay, we said that we don't provide credit for experience. If your postgraduate degree is within the last 5 years, then you would obtain credit exemption for that. Beyond that, then unfortunately, we would need you to start the program from afresh.
Okay, and Cheryl, this program does not provide any placement assistance at all. Okay. Okay, Dustin, with regards to information on the specifics of each module, do get in touch with your academic consultant at Stafford, and we will be able to give you some documentation on that. Okay, so the question from Cheryl is, which course is actually more beneficial for me? Should I do a full MEd? Or should I just do the PGCE?
That's a tricky one to respond to. I would always go for the full MEd because the Master of Education is a real badge of honour. You know, it just demonstrates the amount of hard work over a period of time that you've undertaken. However, that's not taken away from the PG Cert level and the PG diploma. It may be that you want to start off on the PG Cert level, and then once you have gained some confidence around studying, then you might want to extend that to the next level and so on. Again, I would speak to your consultants on that just to be able to give you some further tailored advice to what your outlook is, where you're hoping to go to with your career, and yeah, I think you just need a more tailored response.
Absolutely. I was just going to add that as well, Marie. Do get in touch with your personal consultants, because obviously they've been in touch with you, or you're very welcome to contact me as well, and we can give you some guidance as to the steps in getting that application going through, as well as getting exactly what qualification you are looking for. And Nina's question is, do I really have to be currently teaching to do this program?
No, as long as you have teaching experience to draw from, then that will be fine. You do, because we have the non-workplace based routes, so there's not an expectation that you will be currently teaching, but you must have enough experience to be able to reflect upon.
Okay, and Noreen's question is really regarding her IELTS. She obviously wants to apply for the program before the deadline, which is the 15th of October, but can she then submit her IELTS thereafter? Obviously, she has to sit for it and wait for the results. So can she submit her IELTS thereafter?
Yes, we will. If everything else is all in order and you meet the rest of the requirements, then we would probably send you a conditional offer, and then when your IELTS comes through, we'll be able to amend that to an unconditional offer.
Absolutely. And Faraz's question, I can answer that for you, Faraz. Your IELTS has to be an academic IELTS. Unfortunately, the university will not accept the general IELTS. Okay, so if you are going to be sitting for your IELTS, please ensure that you do book for the right one. Okay. All right, and Saida's question is, she's taught A-levels, law 13 years, and was a professor of law for the University of London. She has an LLB degree, and she actually even holds a master's degree in law. And she now wants to obviously do the PG cert. And she wants to know is that will she be able to get in with that type of qualification? You know, would the MEd actually even be something that she should be doing? But the whole point is, will she be able to get in with all those qualifications that she has?
Yes. If you have an undergraduate degree, you have a master's degree, and you have experience, then yes, you're eligible to meet the requirements for the program. I don't know whether you want me to respond to whether an MEd is suitable or not, but if you're working in an education environment, then the MEd is always going to enhance your practice, but also your career opportunities within education.
Okay, and Rachel, yes, we do have workshops that are scheduled in the UAE, and the workshops are normally scheduled over the weekends, the UAE weekends. And yes, they're very highly recommended, as Marie can actually tell you a little bit more about that, but highly recommended that you do attend these workshops. Yes, they're not compulsory, but as Marie has probably said already, it is something that we do encourage all the students to attend because they really are beneficial. Okay, so do take that into consideration. If I cannot provide an IELTS, can I provide a letter from my university confirming that English is the mode of instruction?
Yes, that's acceptable. If it's a formal letter on a university letterheaded or stamped documents, then that would be acceptable.
Okay. I have completed a PGCE, therefore I should be eligible for 60 credits. I have now opted for the NAME Award, which is the Leadership, Organization and Management. Am I able to use all 60 credits for this particular named award?
If the credits are within the last 5 years and they are at level 11, then yes, you can use all 60 credits towards that. But I have to say that we also do need to look at whether you are hoping to work towards an IB certificate, because that could have implications there. So again, please do speak to your consultant to be able to confirm that.
Okay. And okay, Rachel, I've actually answered the questions regarding the classes or the workshops, so we've actually covered that. The last date of submission is the 15th of October, so it's just round the corner, so we do advise that you try and send your application through as soon as possible. Okay. Okay, and is IELTS really compulsory to apply for this program?
If English isn't your first language and you haven't carried out an undergraduate degree within an English language, then yes, it is. It's the university requirement.
Yeah. And will I be able to graduate at the university and get my degree from there? How do I get my degree certificate?
Yeah, we would love you to come over for graduation. It's a great day for tutors to celebrate with the students. It's a great event, so you will be more than welcome. If you can't make it over here, then your certificate will be posted out to you. So if that's the case, can I just say, please make sure that you've got the correct address on our records. But no, we would love you to visit us over in Scotland if possible.
Okay, and I want to teach at a university or work as a trainer in the education field. Will this master's help me? I applied for a master's in applied linguistics and TESOL. However, in your opinion, which one would be better for me if I want to go into teaching at a university?
I mean, again, it does depend on the universities, because some will require you to have a PhD, for example, and others will require master's level study. So again, it comes down to individual universities, not just within the country, but differences with universities in that one country. I would say, well, I'm always biased to the MEd. It's something that I have, and it's certainly opened doors for my teaching in a university. So if I'm an example to you, then the MEd is a great option.
Excellent. Good. And Faraz, unfortunately, as we have stated, a general IELTS will not be accepted by the university. It would have to be an academic IELTS. Okay. However, do get in touch with your academic consultant at Stafford, and we may be able to advise you on other forms of English assessments that will also be accepted by the university. Okay, so do get in touch with your academic consultant on that. Okay, and Nicholas, your question, how long will the application take, and how will I know when I'll be successful? Anything between 10 and 15 UK working days. We will be able to get back to you on your status. At the moment, the university, and correct me if I'm wrong, Marie, is inundated with quite a lot of applications. So they are trying to get through the applications as quickly as possible. But we're looking at an average of about 10 to 15 UK working days. Okay. All right, any other questions? I think I've managed to actually just group them all together here, Marie. But if there are any questions, please feel free to ask Marie now. But I can see that we've actually managed to get through them quite efficiently there. Okay. Well, yeah, that seems to be it. Thank you very much, Rachel. Rachel's thanking us for the wonderful presentation.
Thank you very much.
Okay, all right, so I think we'll just leave it at that for this evening. I think we've actually managed to get through all the questions quite nicely. And again, thank you so much, Marie, for joining us. To everyone that has joined us this evening, please do get those applications into us as soon as possible. 15th of October is the last day. So do try and get that through to your academic consultant so that we can get that all-important unconditional offer. Okay. Thank you again, Marie, and we'll see you quite soon.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Excellent. Good evening, everyone.
Bye-bye now.